My dad calls this the face smash. One of the few that can handle it. So there's resting membrane potential. Sorry for all the nerds out there. Resting membrane potential, action potential. So sensitization means the nerve is getting closer to its firing point. But there's no pain here and there's no pain here. Do you understand? There's only pain when you're above the firing point.
Well, I used to do weightlifting.
Okay.
And then from that, I guess I would ignore a lot of like the symptoms I had. And then once out of nowhere, I just started I had a hard time doing like tricep extensions, benching, the regular routine training I did.
Weakness or pain? What was happening?
Just the muscles weren't activating as they usually do.
Okay.
And then I would try to push past that like discomfort, and then I started getting just tightness on the neck and numbness.
Where exactly?
At that time it was, pretty much my arm and like I would say like the left side where the scapula is at, like I really wouldn't feel any engagement of the back.
Okay.
And then, so I stopped weightlifting to try to figure out what was going on, what the problem was. I went to see a specialist. They said I had thoracic outlet syndrome. Got some work done, but it really didn't go anywhere. Got some Grasson's technique done, alleviated the pain, and then pretty much stopped doing anything from that point.
Okay. When they diagnosed you with TOS, thoracic outlet, did they take a picture of your neck at all?
Yeah, I did. I believe I got
just an
X-ray done.
Just
maybe.
X-ray.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that was a while back.
Okay. All right. Did they talk about discs at all? Did they talk about that much at all?
No. I did get some nerve testing just to make sure everything was normal. They said everything was normal.
So it's like a piece of paper. If I fold this piece of paper back and forth in the same crease, right? Eventually, I'm going to weaken the paper. I just signed that, I know, but I could tear it, right? If you keep folding this back and forth, you weaken the paper. Does that make sense? Mechanically, our spine is the same thing. If when we're bending, all the bending happens in the same spots, we're going to inflame and irritate those areas. Mechanically, our chest has all these ribs in it. So when we're bench pressing or lifting weights, the chest is fairly immobilized. And what ends up happening is the lower neck doesn't have any ribs, obviously. So right above the thoracic cage, specifically the last 3 vertebrae that get involved in the thoracic outlet, then get inflamed. The supportive structures are the discs. And the discs are made of water. They're soft and spongy. They have a nucleus in the middle, and then they have these layers of annulus that wrap them. And they support open the hole that the nerve goes through. So as these discs get injured, they first can get torn, the annular fibers tear, the disc starts to herniate out, and then it can lead to, this model has a disc bulge there, but basically you can get nerve pressure on these wires. So the nerves get actually pinched as they're exiting the spinal column in what we call a thoracic outlet, which is this funnel of nerves that goes down your arm. One part of it can be the rib elevating. So when the rib in the upper back goes up, part of that has to do with the head going forward. That raises the rib up, that narrows the channel of nerves as they exit. The bone being out of place in the neck causes it to go what we call posterior, and then the entire channel that the nerves are sitting in becomes inflamed. And that's what Graston was attempting to do. Graston is, we're going to work on the soft tissue component. We can go in there and massage the muscles and get rid of the lactic acid. But if we're not addressing the rib elevation and the bone out of place, it's only one of the 3 components that cause weakness. So you're getting weakness of the nerves that are controlling those muscles. So the lower neck controls scapular area, shoulder. So it's not a coincidence that you were having tricep at C7. So you're having nerve pressure, and we can correlate that with an MRI. That would clear up everything. You get a couple $100 MRI, and we see you're in your mid-20s, but your lower neck is in your mid-40s, right? So part of your spine is aging at a faster rate, and we want to slow that down. We want you to catch up to the oldest age of your spine, essentially. So by the time you're 40, it looks 50. You're going to catch up to it. If we stay on the path that you're on, typically by the time people get to 40, 50, the lower neck looks 80, right? And I have so much weakness, I can't even lift things. And then they talk about surgery and like. So without a picture, without an MRI really, X-ray, we get some information, but when we're young at your age, well, I'm saying we, I'm just turned 40. When we're young at your age, I said 25. Anyway, my point is that
We wish.
when we're younger, the discs are fleshy and supple. When you get past 50, they don't change too quickly, but at a young age, we have to get a picture of the spine MRI because your body's not simply old enough to have a lot of bone spurring yet. So we're not going to see a lot of bone spurring at 27, 20, it's not, old. By 47 we'd see it, but 27 you're not going to see the big bone spurs that everybody goes, aha, there's the arthritis. So we can miss things, and nerve conduction velocity, again, the nerve testing is usually only when it gets to a high level of pressure before it can pick up on it, right? It's like it has to reach a certain threshold before they can start saying, okay, there's a problem. Well, no, there's a problem way before it met your threshold. Okay, 1 second here, bud.
So I do like I have trouble doing push-ups, just doing bodyweight squats, you name it. Can't really do any weight training or.
And the left's worse. Is that correct?
Yeah, that. So here I can even let's say I want to shoulder press, I can't do it. It's just I don't feel the shoulder. I feel the pec firing instead.
Yes.
There's no movement at all.
We have a left disc herniation, is what this is. It's because we missed it by doing an X-ray. We missed it properly diagnosing, and it's not just TOS. TOS is the result of nerve pressure because we have a disc injury in his lower neck that's causing it. You don't have. We're seeing the shoulder tilt. That's easy to see, but what you really have is a head tilt. And if I can go over this with you, because you're pinching a nerve on the left, your head is tilted to the right. When you tilt the spine, the holes get bigger on the opposite side. So I'm going to use this model. So on the left side, that makes sense? If I tilt the spine to its right, watch the size of that hole. Get the idea? The holes get bigger on the opposite side. We call this the convex side. So this is the concave side. On the convexity, the holes get larger, okay? So we call that compensation. Your body's going to tilt to open up the hole the nerve goes through to alleviate pressure. Make sense?
Yes.
It's like if you break your ankle, you're going to tilt away to not keep injuring something that's injured. All right, so you have injury on the left, disc injury on the left, hitting the nerve. Your body tilted your head to the right. You can't walk around with your head tilted, so you did this. Do you understand? And so you're seeing it as a shoulder tilt, but it's really a head tilt. We call it a riding reflex. Your eyes have to be on the horizon. It makes you dizzy. If you walk around with your head tilted, you're not going to last long. So you got to, there we go. You got to get these eyes on the horizon, and you'll do this head tilt thing. And then I'm looking at your hips also. Your left hip is elevated. Is pain down the right leg?
I used to a couple years back, but
It's not as severe as, it's not as drastic. I'm looking at his hip height. We're dealing with about maybe a ½ inch left hip elevation. This gets stupid very quick in chiropractic. So your left hip is up because, that's why I asked about the right side, because you're in avoidance of this. Do you get the idea?
Yes.
The hip came up. Well, to go through the whole exaggeration, you really did this, and then you can't walk around like this, so you did this. I'm exaggerating, but the left hip came up to keep you in left tilting. Again, because those are mechanical holes. Those change in size based on posture and your mobility and where you're at. So your left hip is elevated. Now, your left leg's short. Let's give you a heel lift. Let's give you a shoe orthotic, or does that make sense? You gotta throw that all away. Or a chiropractor will tell you, let's take your left hip and shove it back down. Then we'll pinch the nerve again. That makes sense. We'll pinch the nerve because your body elevated the hip as a way to get relief. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
How do we get my hips level? How do I get my shoulders level? We treat the injury. When the injury is no longer aggravating, your body will auto-level itself. You don't have to force it, is what I'm trying to say. If you've been through that type of mindset with chiropractors, I'm sorry. You can't, if I take the left hip and I shove it back down, I'm going to pinch this nerve again. Right? Because my body intelligently lifted the hip to get relief. Do you follow me? I'm going to have you just gently, slowly turn your head left for me. Slowly turn your head left. Any pain?
stiffness.
Is that as far as you can go? That's wow. You're pretty limited.
There.
We're maybe getting to 50 degrees there, if that. Go ahead and turn to the right slowly. Yeah. What are you feeling?
They're normal.
So a little bit farther to the right, maybe 60, 75, 65 degrees. But any pain when you turn either way?
Pain and no. Stiffness to the left only.
Okay, so just stiff when you turn left. Okay. Now if you just slowly look upwards for me. Just gently, as far as you think you can go, or pain?
No pain. Just stiffness on the left side.
On the left side. So
On the left side of the neck.
So the muscles are tight because they're protecting. Right? Muscles are guarding. I have a disc injury, so not only do the muscles will contract because that nerve is irritated, causing the muscles to contract, but also the muscles are contracted to protect the area that's injured. You follow me?
Yes.
So get rid of the tightness. No, you get rid of the reason for why it's tight, right? Which is, again, the core problem is the disc injury. The thoracic outlet is the disc impinges on that thoracic outlet, which said, yes, that's an accurate diagnosis, but that's an event afterwards. The core problem is the disc. All right, cross. All right, take a deep breath in for me. I'm gonna help you a little sit up. Here we go, brother. Deep breath. Head back. Exhale. I got you. Relax your chest. Exhale. All right, deep breath. I got you. Head back. Exhale. Here we go. We're gonna loosen this chest up. Exhale. Come on, let it go. Relax your jaw. Relax. Much better. There we go. One more. Chin down now a little bit. Now relax your chest. Exhale. Good, okay. Very nice. You okay?
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
If we took an MRI of your thoracic cage, and I've taken MRIs of too many people to count, I've hardly ever seen any disc injuries in there. They happen, but if they're there, they never really get surgery on them, and they're never of a long-term consequence, sort of just blunt trauma injuries. In terms of what the medical world is operating on, they pretty much solely operate on the lower neck and lower back. Again, that's where all the bending is happening. All right, relax your leg, relax. Ooh, stiff. Ooh, boy. All right, breathe. I got you, bud. It's okay. We're gonna stretch a little bit. Breathe. Mm-hmm. I got you. Breathe. Yeah, come on, bud. Yeah. Breathe. Exhale. Relax. Uh-huh. Come on. All right, listen. If a chiropractor touches your lower back when they're doing this, you got to get out the door. We're trying to adjust this joint here and these joints up here. All surgery happens here. Okay, in case I'm dead, nobody, you understand, tries to adjust your lower back.
Okay.
Get the idea?
Yes, sir.
We're trying to be down here in your SI joint. I got you. Exhale. Good. Exhale. All right, good. Face up for me. Good. All right, face up. Real easy. I'm gonna go gentle, just first level. There you go. That's the easy side. We go to the hard side. Now let this side go right here. Let it all go. Yeah. Clunk.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, your spine has a 7 vertebrae team, but the top 2 vertebrae are meant to do a disproportionate amount of the work. And that's why I focus on the upper neck. And essentially, cliff notes, the lower neck symptoms you're feeling, the shoulder symptoms you're feeling aren't possible if your upper neck is functioning. Okay? It's not possible to injure the lower neck if the upper neck is functioning properly. So therefore, I know the upper neck must not be functioning properly. And the alignment is what creates the environment for that to be shut down.
And that area and like the front of the neck is usually where I feel the most stiffness.
Yes. It's nerve pressure coupled with guarding, okay? The muscles are tight because they're being tasered, right? My joke is if you get shot with a taser gun, right, why do your muscles listen, right?
Right.
I didn't send the signal to my muscles to contract. Why are my muscles contracting? That electricity didn't come from my brain. What's wrong with you muscles? Can't you discern that this electricity isn't from the brain, it's from this gun that I got shot with? Well, muscles are idiots, right? They don't ask questions of the source of the electricity. They just say, we're hit with electricity, we're going to contract. When you hit a nerve, when a disc hits a nerve, a false signal is sent, right? It's like if you hit your funny bone, you're going to feel electricity. That didn't come from your brain. It became because you mechanically hit the nerve, you caused it to depolarize. Okay, so you have false signals. You have the rib elevating. So think of it as a channel. You have a funnel, okay, that wires are going through. When the rib elevates, Makes sense? It closes down on that funnel. The actual channel gets narrower, okay, from the bottom. The vertebrae in the back go posterior, and so that actually makes the channel smaller also. And then the actual tissue that's the nerves are sitting in can be inflamed. So the actual muscles, the connective tissue, the fascia that the nerves are sitting in, if that's acidic, we can alleviate some level of nerve pressure, because nerves add up all the things that are influencing them, and if it reaches a certain value, it depolarizes. So we call that sensitization. The nerve is sensitized, and then I barely do anything and bam, I get pain, right? That because you have the nerve right sub-threshold, and now you're above the threshold. Now you're what we call action potential. So there's resting membrane potential. Sorry for all the nerds out there. Resting membrane potential, action potential. So sensitization means the nerve is getting closer to its firing point. But there's no pain here and there's no pain here. Do you understand? There's only pain when you're above the firing point. We call them space-occupying lesions. The disc is occupying a space that shouldn't be occupied by anything. Then also the ribs elevated, making the overall hole smaller, the bones posterior, and the channels inflamed. And so all these things together caused pressure on the thoracic outlet.
And then with that is where you start getting different imbalances, correct?
Correct.
Throughout the body.
Correct. Well, anything those nerves go to, I mean, anything those areas go to is going to be affected by, I can't contract my muscle, I feel weak, got numbness or tingling or sensations, all that and we got to get ice on the lower neck, right? So we're going to treat the wound that you have on your left lower neck, ice cube massage, take an ice cube and right on the left lower part of your neck, you'd ice cube massage in there right next to the spinous. Okay.
Out of the week.
He was just saying he does jiu-jitsu, he trains 4 to 5 times a week, asking. All right, there's a couple conversations I can have. If you're gonna be an athlete, you gotta have a car mechanic, okay? If you're gonna be doing jiu-jitsu, you're gonna need somebody like me, or working on you properly.
So let's say, the main thing was that I wanted to address this problem,
Yes,
since it's affecting my performance during training.
Right.
So reducing the training, get this problem addressed, get back to normal routine, or?
Here's where I think we're gonna go with this. I need to get your whole spine working as a team, get you back in the right alignment, and then I hope at that point you should be free to do what you want to do in your life. Okay? I think that's the safest answer I can have. But it is an expensive hobby. I don't know what to tell you. If you get punched in the face, your face is going to get swollen. I can't stop that. You understand? If somebody puts you in a guillotine and wrenches on your neck, do you understand?
Yeah.
That's going to injure that disc more.
Okay.
No matter how much I adjust you, my neck would get injured. I get adjusted 4 times a week. Does that make sense? There's no injuries or injuries. Don't get in a guillotine. I don't tell you. I mean, don't get your neck cranked on.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I tapped. I had one guy in Orlando who's come and see me. The guy did a jumping guillotine on him or whatever. He jumped on him and he tapped as quick as he could, but the injury already happened. Right? As he was tapping, as he's falling to the ground tapping, he's like, stop, and you feel his neck just getting ripped. So it can happen faster than you can tap.
Yeah, I did. I stopped the weight training just because of this problem. Otherwise, I probably would have been doing that as well.
I understand.
But got tired of not training at all, so picked up jiu-jitsu.
I got you. The entire thing with the spine that is confusing is that half of your spine has no feeling. And that is confusing. And I'm going to keep repeating it over and over again so we can understand it. Because that's a confusing thing to say and hear, that I can't trust how you feel. Because you can't feel everything. So you can have injuries to structures that have no feeling and not know about it until there's finally overflow to the structures that do have feeling. Does that make sense?
Yep. So
it's deceiving because we can't simply base activity purely on how we feel doing it. All right. That's about as loose as I'm gonna get, but I'm gonna keep working on it. It's getting there. It's much looser now, but there we go. That's home. As odd as it feels, your neck belongs curved.
wow.
That's home. I got you, bud. Come on. All right, I'm almost there. Come on. There it is, yes. Whew. That was the same joint moving, but at a deeper level, right? You're saying I took the joint here and then I took it farther. Now, why do you want to do that? Because the more this goes back, the more we can depressurize the disc. That when we're stretching, the effectiveness of the stretching is based on how much these joints will close. Joints are filled with feeling. I can feel stuff, right? So we have to be guided through that process of closing those joints. The right lower back is where all the stress is getting sent, but the core problem is right here. You understand, having this here is going to lead to that. Because you're in left middle avoidance, it'll be right lower abuse as their response. And everybody will get so focused on this that they don't zoom out and see the problem up here. Yeah. Now this is here because of this. So it's still the upper neck that's the boss. This is in response to the neck tilting and the head tilting. Do you understand? This is not its own problem. It's another compensation, another domino down the chain. But that doesn't mean we can't alleviate it and work on it independently. And you can treat some symptoms working on this, but ultimately we'll never get rid of it unless you get the head back and the curve in the neck. Okay. Yeah. I probably could spend a couple hours over here, but there's so much tangled mess over here. All of that has to be evicted, excavated from here. I can't coexist with any of this. This all has to be removed. It's like moldy drywall. It all has to be ripped out. That's got to leave. That's got to leave. All of this is getting put on notice. Looks so much gentler in the videos until you got the people's elbow and you go, what the? Isn't he going to get tired? He'll get tired soon. I know he's going to get tired soon. No.
It does look tiring.
I do it all day long.
I know.
That's the first couple years of chiropractic is to be able to do this while still talking, because otherwise you're like the first training my dad was like, nobody wants to hear you panting while you're massaging their back. So then you got to learn how to be able to do it while you're still talking. We are sold a bag of goods that it's somehow aging that causes disc injury, when in fact that all the discs are the same age. So how then can it be aging that causes 1 or 2 discs to be injured out of the 23 discs in our spine? It's not aging, it's the alignment and mobility that we're in that puts all the stress on a small percentage. Right there, wow. Yeah, like right there. That's the rib that needs to go down.
Oh, that's the rib.
That's a rib, yeah. That's gotta go downwards.
Oh, that's interesting.
It can't be changed by massage or adjustments, but it can be loosened up so that the stretching can do it.
Oh.
Okay. Nothing's changeable if it's all like a rock. We don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Getting old.
No, how you guys are.
The old Chevy ads. The old Chevy ads were like a rock. Bob Seger, whatever. All right.
How old are you guys? Like 20? 28.
Yeah, guys, you're old now, babe. I don't even know our cultural references anymore. I just turned 40. She's like 38, man.
Okay, we need to go home and Google all
It's
this.
not your fault.
that's
We're
okay.
just literally like, oh crap.
Make a mental note.
Yeah.
We're getting old.
Chevy, their trucks. That was their theme song for years in the '90s. It was "Like a Rock."
Okay.
Was there? There was a song. Oh, like a rock. You know. And so anyway, when I feel rocks and stiffness in people's backs, I'm like, oh, like a rock. Whew. I took the Graston elective when I was in school, and I'm sure it's like art. So even though somebody took the elective, maybe they don't do it how they taught it. But I remember when they were teaching the elective, we were Grassoning people, and then once it started turning pink, the instructor looked at us and said, "Okay, go ahead and now stop." I was like, "Stop? This is when I start." At least it was taught at a much milder level than what I was willing to do. I was like, no, keep going. You're almost getting it out of there. I don't know if it was because they didn't want people too sore. Or, I don't know. It's taught. At least it was taught in a much gentler. But people get out in the real world. Anything can happen.
And the technique, what do you get out of it? Like, what better blood flow or?
Yeah, increased circulation, nutrients in, waste out. You're just expediting. So part of the equation is blood flow, right? Part of it's nutrition and part of it's nerve flow. You need the nerves to be healthy, you need the circulation to be healthy, and then you need the materials into blood for your body to rebuild yourself with. So it's not just about increased circulation, we're actually trying to comb the fibers. We call them muscle fibers, just like there's hair fibers. They're very fibrous. And so we comb the fibers in a direction in which they run. The rhomboids run this way, but the spinal muscle is this way. So this kind of, in this region, will kind of go this way, and will go this way, because there's multiple layers of fibers. Down here, most everything is running either that way, this way. Stuff's coming up here. The muscles run this way, kind of that. Trap, lats, they're all coming in like this. So we kind of comb in the direction of the fibers. I use my X-ray vision. I'm not seeing the skin. I'm seeing the muscle underneath. Is what I'm visualizing when I'm working on this area. I'm seeing the pizza slice here of the muscle, and then there's super right here. So it's going from here. Muscle belly's here. Tendon attachment. So I'm working muscle belly right there. Muscle belly here. This section, right? And teres minor down here. Teres major, right here. They kind of run. And then subscapularis, the only part we can reach to is when you have your arm behind your back, and I get the border of its attachment on the inside. Okay. Oh, we won't see much gouache on this side, at least. Uh-huh. It's gone. I'll make this pencil disappear. Whatever.
I'm trying really hard.
It's like
Never mind.
when I first met him.
Never
he was
mind.
saying to me, I was like, I have no clue what you're talking about. All these movie references. That's the Dark Knight Batman.
Sorry. All right, that's okay.
It's okay. It's the Joker.
That brief pause, just waiting for us to get it.
Going through life, laughing or crying. Okay, I chose the laughing path. Okay, you can go. If you want to be on the crying path, that's your choice. I chose the laughing path. Okay. And last couple of years I've added complaining. Laughing, crying, or complaining. I think there are 3 ways. You okay?
Yep.
All right. Let's try to loosen up this neck a little bit more.
I have a pretty good pain tolerance.
I see. Good. You're in good company. My dad calls this the face smash. Oh, not the face smash. One of the few that can handle it. Trying to work on that occipital ridge, the attachments up on the occiput. Good. Okay. You didn't think those bones would ever move. I know.
Yep.
This is the joint we're trying to call the sacroiliac joint. When you're on your side, this is the purpose, is to loosen this joint to take pressure off the lower back. Right. So this is the. Now what I was feeling was that this joint was way too stiff, and I could push harder, but not at the expense of probably moving this joint. Right. So it's not worth it. I want this joint moving with not that much pressure. It shouldn't require a full body drop and a huge amount of pressure to get this joint to move. Because if you did that and then it moved, you probably beat the crap out of the person's lower back at the same time, which isn't good for them. Yeah, and I think if you did a bigger body slam, you could get it to correct. That's not what I'm at for here. I'm not trying to pop every joint in your lower back. All right, let's gonna lift you up a little bit. All right, try to relax your shoulders. All right, breathe for me. Breathe, relax your chest. Exhale. Come on. Exhale. All right, I'm done. All right, yep, arms down. Okay. You see what we're trying to do, right? This has got to go in and down. Try to push while I'm using your arms as a fulcrum. I'm pushing these ribs down. Go ahead and slowly turn your head to the left for me. Yeah, a little better. Wow, nice.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Less stiffness too.
Go and turn your head right. There we go. Yeah, turn your head right. There you go. Yeah. Awesome. Uh-oh. You're on your toes. This is a jiu-jitsu, right? You must be on your toes all the time. Jeez. There we go. Okay. Okay. Gee. There you go. All right. The joints usually don't get this stiff unless they've been trauma.
Oh, okay.
They don't.
Wow.
Jeez. You know, you've jammed them, and then the joint said, "I quit." You know, life doesn't usually just make it this stiff, especially at this age. It's like, what'd you do to accelerate this? I'm done with it. Okay. All right. Sorry, I got the other ankle. Hold on.
I was going to remind you that you got
Sorry.
it.
Good. Okay. Go ahead and tilt your head to the left for me. Tilt left. Tilt left. Good. Go ahead and tilt your head left. Oh, okay, good. Okay. Don't pull my ear off. Sometimes there'll be little clicks out of these. Go ahead and tilt your head to the right for me. Okay, down there. Okay. Now press your elbow back into my elbow. Press your elbow. Good. There you go. Yep. Switch over. Side. Now relax. Relax. There you go. Now press back a little bit. There we go. Nice. Adjust everything. I don't think you got my reference to, unless if you did, you jujitsu. God bless you. Oh, what? Oh, come on! It's not even funny, man. jujitsu. Ah, it's so rude. It's so beat you up, man. You want a guillotine? You want an armbar?
Armbar's my favorite.
Jujitsu's gonna kick your butt, man. All right. So I'm near the exit. Get out of here. I did Taekwondo for 2 years. We did Taekwondo.
Look at that.
I love that the main philosophy of Taekwondo, at least they taught us, was like, do you believe you can outrun the person that's about to attack you? If yes, run. That was like the first tenet they teach you. If not, self-defense and all that, but it was like, can you outrun the person?
Avoid.
Right, run away. I was like, this doesn't sound very macho. This seemed like the most macho thing. I thought I came here to be like a badass. You know? They're teaching me to run away. I was like, when am I going to break people's arms and stuff like that? I don't know.
Man, I forgot how many years I did Taekwondo for, but it was probably like 6, 7.
Okay, all right. Well, so you're a couple degree black belt then?
Yeah,
Third?
first, going into second, I think.
Second degree? Wow,
Yeah,
cool.
Close, so I don't think I got it.
Gosh, that's legit, yeah. I got you. Good, okay, got it. All right, let's come with me. Get the idea.
Yep.
We're taking a piece of metal and casting it into a new mold. We just made everything loose. Now we stretch. We want to use, one of my worries is if people get adjusted, massaged, and then we immediately get on our phones and sit. Right? I just loosened you up so I can make you into a worse posture. That's a scary thing to me, right? We want to use the loosening that we did to end on a good position. The other thing I want to show you, do you have a foam roller you're laid on this kind of guy? Before?
Yeah,
A little bit?
plenty of times.
Okay, show me what you usually do. I'm going to have you test you out a little bit. So show me what your typical, I'm going to put the roller here. What have you been doing?
Oh, I haven't done lately, but that was back when I was weightlifting. Just the mid back.
Yep.
Just stretch it out.
Good.
Roll back.
It's a test, but I'm not trying to. No, it's not a trick question. Show me exactly what you do usually. I want to show me.
So
If I can give you pointers or tips. Good.
it's
Good.
And
How long do you hold it usually? Just a few seconds to a minute.
yeah, I'll say like maybe a minute.
Okay. We want to go a little bit longer, so I'm going to put some books behind you. Lay your head back. Come on. There we go. Keep the butt down. There you go. Come on, bud. I know. Get the idea?
Yep.
I want you to actually stay here. Relax your arms. And I want you to stay here for about a minute, and then every minute you're going to move an inch. Now, because of your lower neck injury, I want you to have some support blocks behind your head because there's a high proclivity for your lower neck to do all the bending, right? So I don't want to upset your lower neck. And if your lower neck starts getting upset or your shoulder or arms, I understand if they already hurt, but they start getting more upset, you got to move or get a smaller roller or elevate your heads more, right?
Okay.
Got it?
I guess, yeah, okay. I got it.
But we need to stretch. So you can use a roller to loosen. You get on it and you just do a 2-minute scan. That makes sense? And that's good. That loosens you up. But to change posture, we have to sit here and hold it now for 20 minutes. And every minute you move an inch. So let's have you roll back the way you came a little bit. Go roll this way. Get the idea? Lay your head back. Come on. Get the idea?
Yep.
Right? And every minute you're moving, and your target region is your entire thoracic cage.
So keep going up bit by bit.
Right, your top part would be here, right? You're going all the way down to middle back. I'm never down here, stopping, middle-ish back.
Okay.
If your butt comes off the ground, you're too low. Very good, awesome, you did great. Thank you guys.